Hello, everyone, and welcome to Shamanism, Metaphysics, and Grace. I'm Lauren Hubele, here again with my favorite astrologer, Jyoti Wind. Hello, Jyoti.
Hi, Lauren.
Jyoti, we've almost made it through April. Is there still more zingers for us?
Uh, we're in a kind of Pluto pattern right now.
Mhm.
And so Pluto has been stationing, meaning it's, on the edge of turning retrograde. And so it's the same degree and minute from the 26th of April, 4 days ago, until the 10th of May. And in 2 days, it will turn retrograde on May 2nd, Thursday, May 2nd, um, almost at noon that day, Mountain Daylight Time. And so we're in a kind of Scorpio feeling period because Pluto rules Scorpio and it's the planet of transformation, and it's deep, it's intense. I mean, it's intense in its feelings, it's intense, emotionally. It's intense with some of the maybe semi transformative kinds of situations that we may find ourselves in, physically, emotionally, mentally. And so it's just a time to kind of gird your loins and carry on.
What would that look like, Jyoti?
That would look like maybe running into a kind of difficult situation, and you just have to kind of, you know, get yourself ready to deal with something that you didn't plan. It's not so much the unexpectedness of it as much as the just the timing, like, okay, every year around this time, Pluto stations and turns retrograde until early fall. It takes us inside to work on some of the things that we maybe haven't come to yet on an inner level. And plus the fact that we're still in the Mercury catch-up time frame from when
Right.
it went direct on the 25th or so. And so we catch up with Mercury and then enter new territory on May 13th. So we're still in the catch-up phase, the redo stage. Whatever we saw during that 3 weeks of Mercury time going within, now it's time to implement some of those things or to redo some of the things that we did at that time. So we're in a kind of overlap of Mercury catching up and Pluto getting ready to take us inside in a different way, a deeper, personally transformative way.
Yeah, Jyoti, I think I would appreciate you sussing out the difference because I think we've all gotten used to what Mercury feels like, or many of us have, when it's retrograde and can accept that. And you kind of feel like everything's a little bit difficult and clumsy and, jumbled a little on the exterior world. What does it feel like with Pluto?
Well, that's deeper, that's larger, and it's not the surface frustrations of
Mm.
day-to-day life and forgetting things
Mm.
and making the wrong phone call or clicking on a
Yeah.
button and setting things in your computer in motion that you have to deal with. It's not that lighter weight surface kind of thing, although Mercury does take us in to look at some things and our beliefs. But when Pluto turns direct, it's those deeper soul cycles. It's those places in us that say, am I being integritous in my life?
Mm.
Am I on the right path? Or you're on the right path or you wouldn't be there, but what else is there that I need to look at here? Do I need to let a few things go? Do I need to make some changes and get rid of half of my possessions, let's say, and live simpler? I mean, what are those deeper forces at work in my life, in my soul path, that I'm being given an opportunity, and I use that term opportunity
Mm.
loosely and kindly, being given opportunities to see and work with.
Mhm. So when Mercury is retrograde, we get that kind of superficial irritation about things just here, but Pluto kind of takes us, I almost get this feeling of being taken under the water, right? Taken
Yeah,
down under
yeah,
so that we can see something we wouldn't normally see.
absolutely. Absolutely. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe, all right, so pick an example. So maybe we have certain attitudes that we know don't really serve us, but we kind of excuse them or
Sure.
just let them be. Well, all of a sudden, there might be something that really holds a mirror up to us, and we realize, hey, for my spiritual growth and development, or just being a human being with other humans on the planet trying to make it work, I need to change something here. I need to let go of that particular attitude. It does not serve me or the collective or, anyone else.
Hmm.
So it's that deeper diving, that deeper farming, you could almost say, that deeper gardening, that deeper level of something, like the difference between a backyard garden and a farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mercury's the backyard garden,
Mhm.
Pluto's the farm.
Got it. Got it. And I would think for some folks that coming down into that can also stir up some physical symptoms.
It can. It
Yeah.
can, absolutely. And it all depends on where Pluto is in your chart
Yeah.
natally and what it's
Right.
doing. And the field of experience that you came to be challenged by and grow through, by which house Pluto falls in your chart natally.
Mm. Mhm. Thanks. That helps.
Yeah,
It doesn't necessarily make me want look forward to it anymore, but it's much more clear.
yeah, and it's not like it's not like it usually. I want to say it doesn't usually whack you, sometimes it's very subtle, but sometimes it does, and sometimes it gets your attention. Um, and it is a physical thing, and you have to deal with it, and you have to, be patient with your body and love your body and do what you have to do to um, get back on track, but not the same track. Something gets shifted in that interim while you're dealing with whatever you got whacked with.
Yeah, important point there.
Yeah, yeah. So the next thing I'd like to look at is the new moon on May 7th, next Tuesday at 9:22 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. And it is it's a new moon in Taurus, and the sun and moon are together, and they are conjunct or within the orb of or right next to the planet Uranus and Jupiter, this Jupiter Uranus conjunction. And so I like what Pam Gregory said about the Jupiter Uranus conjunction, which was last week, um, that it's not just a day, oh, this Jupiter Uranus conjunction on the 20th of April, at 21 degrees Taurus. It's not just that day. I mean, she suggests that the next one is in 14 years, and this is the beginning of a 14-year cycle. I look at it as having a real spurring effect, like a catalyzing effect for something that will transpire over time.
Hmm.
And so, again, wherever that falls in a person's chart, that's the area of life where opportunities, gifts, and graces may show up over this next period of time. It might not have, nothing might have happened for a person on that day,
Sure.
and yet for some people it did, but not for everybody. And so it may show up over a period of 6 months, a year, 2 years, and all of a sudden that opportunity is beautiful, perfect.
Hmm.
you know? And so this new moon draws in the influence of that Uranus Jupiter conjunction. And so it's offering a new cycle, new moon, new cycle of dreams realized, of creativity, expansiveness, empowerment. Some people may have some healing visions that and also looking at where they are nurturing themselves or need to. I mean, we've come out of this very intense month that at the beginning of the year we knew was coming. And so we're in the aftermath in a lot of ways of the power of the eclipses and the Jupiter Uranus conjunction. And so May is kind of a, I mean, it's not a simple month, but it's a kind of coming down from the hyped energy of April.
It feels like an opportunity for integration after all that intensity.
Yes, however, from the 15th of May, wait a minute, May, just May in general, there are 5 planets at 29 degrees of their sign at different dates. I mean, the whole of May, Neptune's at 29 Pisces. You know, the 15th, Mercury's at 29 Aries. The sun is 29 Taurus on the 20th. On the 23rd, Venus is at 29 Taurus. Jupiter's at 29 Taurus from the 21st to the 25th of May. And when you have planets at the last degree of a sign, it's a couple things. It's like endings and beginnings because it's ending a whole element. In this case, for some of these, Taurus, getting ready to move into Gemini, so earth to air. Okay, and earth is laying foundations, being very practical, and air is doing great ideas. Hey, I have things I want to be doing, you know, here's the newness. And so there's that ending and beginning quality. But the way I was taught astrology was that when something's at the very end of a sign, there's this kind of cosmic anxiety to manifest something because boom, it's over. Boom, it's going to move into a new energy. So there might be some things that people feel, okay, I have to do this now. I have to do this now because the energy is going to shift and change. And so sometimes there's that push or drive a little bit because it's like, okay, I need to finish this up before the new moment starts.
So this is an urgency that's kind of being fed in us because certainly most folks aren't conscious of these, the degrees of the different planets. But what
Right.
we may be able to experience is this kind of inner push or catalyst to finish something.
Yes. Yes, and I liked your word urgency. You
Yeah,
know, I mean not big urgency, but
yeah,
just enough to say, okay, this period is over and this
good.
new period is beginning, especially with Jupiter. At the end of May, when Jupiter's at 29 Taurus, it's leaving its whole time frame in Taurus and getting ready to move into Gemini for the next year. And we'll talk about that as we go on with our podcasts. But and 29 Taurus, the sun, Venus, and Jupiter are all making their way through 29 degrees Taurus, which is a very high degree of creativity.
Wow.
Very high degree, excuse me, high degree of creativity. So there's a lot of creative energy afoot for May.
Okay.
Okay. And
Thanks.
then what else might I want to say about the new moon? I love the fact that Jupiter is trining Pluto. It's kind of wide, but it's still within orb, 7 degrees. And so Jupiter is starting its trine to Pluto and will be trining Pluto for a month or two. And that's a lot of empowerment. That's a feeling of I see the bigger picture and I'm doing what I can to transform situations so that I can live what I see, so that I can bring that larger vision into some form in my life. But it's a lot of empowerment to make a stand, to say what's true for you, to give voice, especially when Jupiter moves into Gemini. It'll still be trining Pluto to give voice and act and speak for what you believe to be true.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the other thing I just want to mention is that Mercury catches up to its whole retrograde cycle on May 13th, Monday, May 13th. And at about Mountain Daylight Time, at about 3 in the afternoon, the sun is conjuncting the planet Uranus. And
Mm.
that's expect the unexpected day. It's an Aquarian day. It's a Uranian day. It's Uranus brings change. It's the lightning bolt. It's also high intuition. It rules astrology. It's just hearing the beat of a different drummer. And if you make plans for that day, that's fine. But just know it may happen. It may not.
No. Is there any way that we could set ourselves up to take advantage of that, expect the unexpected rather than, going into the turtle shell to
Right.
enjoy it?
Absolutely. Just being open to what the day
Or,
holds, and if there's something you've been wanting to do or wanting to try or explore, great day to do it.
oh, that's great. Okay.
Great day to do it. It can favor group endeavors, like getting a bunch of friends together and going to the botanical gardens, something like that. Or maybe there's a project you've been wanting to start and not having the first steps come to you, and that high intuition that day might just be the day. I know what I need to do, what to talk to
Yeah,
this person or set this in motion or explore this. All of a sudden it's like, okay, I know what to do.
cool.
It's a good people day. It's a good people day, as long as you're around good people.
Okay. Good word of warning there, Jyoti. Anything else this month we need to know about?
Oh, I think that's so much.
Yeah, it's a
I
lot.
real I really think it's so much. I think once Jupiter at the end of the month, early June, moves into Gemini, things are going to speed up a little bit because, Jupiter through Taurus has been a little plodding, a little slower, make sure you've got your ducks in a row kind of thing. And then when Jupiter goes into Gemini, I think this summer is going to be a little more doing, a little more speedy, speed up of energy, things moving a little faster.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thanks, Jyoti. I appreciate this insight.
You're very welcome, Lauren.